Welcome to this week's edition of Hawk Talk. I'm Ellie Hanser,
I'm Coulter Hickok.
and we're here this week with Coach Willis of the volleyball team. We're excited to have her.
Now, Seth and Susanna, they kind of give us the reins this week on this episode. They're trying to see if we're able to handle ourselves. So let's see how this goes. So we have our guests, so please introduce yourself, where you are, or where you're from, and what you do at DSU.
My name is Jennifer Willis. I just recently got married, formerly Jennifer Hartman, and I'm originally from Miles City, Montana. Came to DSU to do volleyball and track, competed for all 5 years, and then now I coach here, so yeah.
So you do have a name change. I mean, I still kind of struggle with the whole Hartman-Willis situation, so Hartman might slip out a few times during this.
I was wondering if you had the right person on. I thought
Yeah.
we had Jennifer Hartman, not Jennifer Willis.
Right? Yeah, it's been an adjustment, even for me.
Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit about, getting married, how that whole adjustment has been, from coach to, wife? Like, I mean, you're a wifey now, so.
It's been great. Actually, my husband, he attended DSU as well, and he did football and track, and he was an All-American and stuff. He was a lot better athlete than I was, but it's been really easy. He knows DSU, loves the Blue Hawks also, so it's nice to have that support system at home.
Yeah, that's good. He's always at all of our home games.
He is. He's a
I pay
super
attention.
fan. Yeah.
It's good, though.
Yeah.
So you're originally from Miles City, Montana. Can you tell us a little bit about your journey to get here to DSU?
Recruiting and stuff?
Yeah.
So it
recruiting-wise.
was actually Coach Dan Stanton of Miles City was my track coach, and he would always tease me about going to Dickinson State to compete for his brother, Pete. And it ended up actually that Pete did end up recruiting me for track, and at the time there was a coaching change in volleyball from Dave Moody to Ryan Platt, and I ended up getting a chance to talk with Ryan Platt, and he asked me to do volleyball also. So it was kind of an interesting process back in the day. A lot different than all the Twitter releases they have nowadays.
Right.
Just received an offer. Yeah, we didn't have any of that. We didn't even have Twitter back then. So, but it was good. It was a really good transition, and it was a home away from home, so it was really easy to make the switch.
Right, and it's not too far either, so
No.
No.
it's nice.
Yeah,
It is
only
nice.
like 2.5 hours.
Yeah, all interstate.
All interstate, yep.
So you played, was it 4 or 5 years for volleyball?
So I
4?
played 4 and then coached 1.
Right.
Yeah.
So making that transition, I mean, you played all 4 years, and then you switched into coach, like head coach, what, 2 years later? Is that right?
Actually, the next fall.
The next fall.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how was that transition? What was that transition like?
That was really difficult because most of the team I had played with previously the year before, and so the head coach had stepped down in about the beginning of October, I believe, of that season, and having to take over when you're 22 years old was really, really tough. Knew I needed more experience, so went down to the high school level for a couple years, and then, yeah. It was good. It was good to learn the fundamentals more and learn from Coach Jay Schobinger too. So
Nice.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, since it is homecoming week after all at Dickinson, so you've been here for a lot of years. So what is your favorite homecoming tradition at Dickinson?
Oh my goodness. Well, I usually love the Saturday night volleyball game. This year it's Saturday morning, so that's a little bit different. But I do love the Hall of Fame banquet as well. That's really fun. And then just all the different people that they bring on campus. They usually bring a hypnotist or a comedian or
Right.
something, and I'm pretty sure they have that again this year. So those are all the fun traditions that we love.
Right. What are some of the things that have you seen changed over the years?
For the campus?
Right, just like in homecoming, perspective-wise.
Oh, well, just the support, I guess, in general. I feel like there's just so much support, and people just love the Blue Hawks so much, and that's really exciting to see all this Blue Hawk pride in our community and stuff, and even being stopped for volleyball lately and stuff, because we're having a lot better season this year, and
Right.
having people stop you and talk to you about how good you guys are this year and this and that. It's just been really nice to have that Blue Hawk pride again.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So have you noticed like a big difference in like people coming back that were previous like students at DSU and athletes coming back? Do you think that more people have been coming back to
For sure, yeah. It's kind of a small world too because one of the Hall of Fame inductees is Clay Rogers, and my cousin actually married him. So it's
Oh,
really cool that their whole family is
That's
coming,
crazy.
and yeah, it's such a small world, and I'm just really excited to see Marcy and Clay and their girls. So, yeah.
Awesome.
That's fun. So, switching gears a little bit, we wanted to ask you a question. I know that, I think what you're going to answer here, but we heard that you have some really good dancers on the team. I mean, like me being one of them. So, if the volleyball team were to go on America's Best Dance Crew, do you think that they would win, or do you think they'd be successful on that?
Most of the dancing takes place before I'm around,
Oh.
but I guess I would have to say, yeah, for sure, we would win.
So what dance do you think they would do? Like anything like the floss? Like I know that's hip now, or maybe a little salsa. What do you think?
The whoa?
They would definitely do the whoa. I don't know if that's a dance move, but
I think it's a dance move.
that is definitely what they would do.
Awesome.
They would also do that get up dance
Oh,
too.
The get
Yeah.
up
Yes,
challenge.
the get up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
they would
gotcha.
do that one for sure.
Yeah. Okay, so going back into volleyball, I mean, dancing is a part of it, I guess. But we're halfway through conference, right? We kind of started off a little bit slow,
Yes.
finish off very strong. What have you learned from that first half of conference? What do you think you learned as a coach? And what do you think we're going to try to change too?
A couple of things that we did change was incorporating more goal-driven drills into practice so that we feel the pressure of a game all the time to make it more of a pressure type of practice. And that's been really successful. We started that actually right before, the week before we picked up those 2 wins, conference wins, and it's just been every week we kind of add in more pressure and stuff on our hitters, on our defense and everything, and it's been really paying off so far, so that's exciting. I think at the beginning of the season we kind of underestimated some teams and thought, oh, you know, especially with teams like Waldorf, we've always beat Waldorf. We thought, oh, we can just go in and beat Waldorf. But our conference is so competitive this year. Everybody's beat everybody, and we just need to not underestimate anyone and go out and play hard for every match. So,
I got a bit of a two-parter question for you. So, what position did you play when you were at Dickinson? And when you started coaching, was this the position you found yourself coaching the most, or how did that work out for you?
so I played right side. I was a middle blocker in high school, but I feel like that's how that always goes. If you're tall and you can block well, you're a middle blocker in high school,
Right.
and then usually you'll get moved to the right side in college. I just think that's the best position ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ellie will agree. But when I first started coaching, our assistant coaches were mainly front row players also, so I took on the defense and
Gotcha.
coaching that. This year we have Mackenzie DiGiswaldo, and she's done just an amazing job with our team, and she was able to take defense this year and DSs this year, and I was able to focus more on offense, which has been a lot better, more comfortable for me too. I really
Yeah.
enjoy coaching the offense.
Yeah, and Kenzie's been doing a really good job. We've heard
Yeah.
a lot of positive things coming from that too.
For sure.
Back to volleyball a little bit. We're on that 2-game win streak. What has that kind of done for the team morale? What have you seen change?
What I've seen mainly is just this different type of focus in practice, different type of energy. You know, it's hard to go through that slump that we went through, and it lasted for quite a while. So to be able to pick up 2 wins, especially against Mayville, who I think we shocked Mayville for sure. They did not expect us to beat them, and but we just had this different type of team chemistry right now, and we just hope to continue to build that. It was a really big turning point for us, and
Yeah.
it's nice that in volleyball you get to play everyone twice.
Yeah.
You get a second chance, so we're excited for this second half of conference to see what we can do.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to switch gears here a little bit. I don't know if you saw Hawk Talk last week, but we started this new Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader segment here on Hawk Talk. So
No.
I got a few on my phone. I got a few categories for you. You get to pick one out of the 3 categories.
Okay.
I got entertainment, American history, or science.
Let's go science.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So we're gonna have a mystery filmer in the background. He'll be filming. You
Okay.
have 10 questions. Answer them as fast as you can. All right.
Got it.
All right. Timer. You're gonna start as soon as I'm done reading the first question. We're gonna go 1 minute. You ready?
Ready.
All right. What is H2O? Salt, air, water, or carbon?
Water.
Correct. What causes the tides? The moon, the sun, atmospheric pressure, or the Earth's orbit?
The moon.
Correct. What is the biggest organ in the human body? The liver, heart, brain, or skin?
Skin.
Correct. What is the name of the galaxy we are in? The Hershey Galaxy, the Milky Way Galaxy, the Three Musketeers Galaxy, or the Reese's Galaxy?
The Milky Way.
Correct. What is the hardest naturally occurring element? Gold, diamonds, platinum, or coal?
Diamonds.
Correct. What is the freezing point of water? 32 degrees Fahrenheit, 20 degrees Fahrenheit, 10 degrees Fahrenheit, or 0 degrees Fahrenheit?
32 degrees.
Correct. What is the name of an animal that eats both plants and meat? A carnivore, or herbivore, or an omnivore?
Omnivore.
Correct. Name the 5 senses.
Sight, smell, taste, hearing, and touch.
Correct. That's it. You had 2 questions left, but got them all correct.
Nice.
I think that makes her the.
I think that might bring her to the new Hawk Talk. Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader champion?
Yeah.
That's what I like. Oh my gosh, I'm rubbing off on you. Okay, switching back. I mean, that was really impressive. You're smarter than a 5th grader.
There we go.
What grade did you teach? I guess
I
is a.
taught 2nd grade.
Okay.
Oh,
Yep.
you went up a few grades.
I did.
Wow.
Yep.
was
Graduated.
So switching back into volleyball gears, you have 4 seniors on the team.
Yes.
Me, Kira, Kennedy, and then Kadara. So you had us 3, Kennedy, Kira, and Kadara, or Kennedy, me, Kira for the first 3 years, and then Kadara for the last 2. So, I mean, you've seen Kadara work obviously and develop into the player that she is today. Do you think that all of us have done that? What kind of like different roles have you seen us take in over the last 4 years?
Oh, definitely. Especially switching positions. Kira is the only one who, other than Kadara, has always been a middle also. But Kira's the only one who's stuck with her same position. You started out as an outside hitter, transitioned to the right side, and saw a lot more success over there. Kennedy started out as a middle blocker and then transitioned to the right side also, and she saw so much success over there. And so, and even just the culture that this group of seniors have created and brought in has been amazing. And it's been a really big turning point, and we're just so proud of them. And especially the 3 that have stuck around for the 4 years, because it's been a tough 4 years. There's no denying that, and they've persevered through all that adversity and stuff, and stuck with it and stayed positive through the whole thing. And it's paying off this year, their senior year. So it's exciting.
That's what we like to see.
Yeah.
We have 4 transfers come in this year.
Yep.
What kind of differences do you think that they've brought to the team? I mean, they've obviously brought some different like views and stuff, but what else do you think?
For sure. They've just brought, not only did they bring in their athletic abilities and talents, but they also just bought in right away. You know, all of preseason, our seniors and captains and leaders just kind of did a good job of explaining our culture to all the newcomers and stuff, and they just bought in. There was no questions asked. We haven't had any issues of no one being bought in, and they know the expectation and what we kind of expect from them also, and it's just fun. They're a fun group, very dynamic. Like you got Bailey, who's the California girl, you know, kind of your typical California girl and stuff, and then Erin. Erin is so funny on the court, and she just says the weirdest things sometimes when they're playing, and that's really helped lighten the mood sometimes in tight games. So, yeah.
So before we mentioned that you've been on Hawk Talk quite a bit, so we're going to ask you a little different question. So you've been at DSU for a lot of years. What keeps you coming back to DSU?
Oh man. You just love it. It really becomes your home and your family and stuff, and thinking about ever like leaving that or letting that go is just really heartbreaking to think about. And I'm sure these seniors are feeling that now that they're in almost that transition time where they're going to have to say goodbye eventually. And it's definitely hard. It's definitely a hard thing to do. So it's just such a great place to work and such a great place to coach and just be a part of. Like I said, we've had some tough seasons, but even through it all, you always feel supported. You always feel loved, you know, especially by the people in the community. Like Mike Park, I just have to give him a shout out because he's at every single game. He even went to my wedding. I mean, he is just an amazing individual, and he's just always there supporting no matter what at every game. So yeah, we just really appreciate the community and everything they've done for us.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, since you being on Hawk Talk and all, we got you a special gift.
Yeah. Oh, I thought I had to catch that.
We have these nice old I Flew on Hawk Talk shirts sponsored by Movable Ministries. So we want to thank you for coming on. And
Perfect.
thank you for coming on. Good luck this weekend. And we'll be right back with another special guest.
Hey guys, it's Tyler with Immovable Ministries here, and I'm so excited to be able to be the sponsor for this year's Hawk Talk. If you'd like to find out more about Immovable Ministries, you can visit our website at immovableministries.com.
Well, welcome back. We've got our student athlete with us. So go and tell us who you are, what do you do at DSU, and what sport you're involved with.
My name is Jade Rice. I'm in secondary physical education major, and I play football. Starting the defensive line. So
Where are you from then?
I am from Stanley, North Dakota.
Perfect.
So you are from Stanley, North Dakota. Can you tell us a little bit about your journey to get here to DSU?
Yeah, actually, I had gone to a football camp at Minot State, and Coach Miller is one that recruited me, and he was coaching there, and then he came here and coached. So then we moved up to AA, so Dickinson Trinity was in my conference. So my last senior football game was actually on the field here
That's awesome.
in town. So Coach Miller, he talked to me after that. He called me a couple times, and he asked me what I wanted to play and what they thought I could play. And then ever since then, we kind of moved around, see what works, see what doesn't work, you know. And there's one thing they always told me is my height. I wasn't very tall, so they weren't totally sure where to put me. I was kind of big, but like not that big. And then, so I played a little bit of fullback, and then I moved to defensive line, and that's where I've shined the most. So
That's awesome. So the trip to Dakota State, very eventful. Can you tell us about what just happened?
Yeah. I don't know. It was, I mean, you know, so we're riding down, and we took a different route, and everybody's heard we slid off the road, and nothing bad happened. We're totally fine. Bus driver, one of those things you can't, it was hard to prevent. I think he did a great job keeping us up and everything, so then after that, we got on the offensive bus, went to Sturgis High School, hung out there for a while, then the bus that went in the ditch got pulled out, came and picked us up, and it's kind of one of those things where it's kind of a scary event, but it's also, it was kind of awesome just to see like us persevere and you know, go through some of those things as a team, and nobody was freaking out. You know, when we got to Dakota State, we did our job, won the game, came back safe. You know, we don't ever let distractions bother us. So,
Well, I guess you kind of already answered my next question, but moving on to a Sunday for a Saturday, how do you feel about mentally? Like, what do you do to prepare yourself for that?
it was different, but I liked it actually. It was it kind of felt nice to get an extra day on the field, because Friday, usually the day before a game, we do a walkthrough, whereas now we move a day forward. So then Friday, we kind of mixed it up and integrated some regular practice time in with a walkthrough. And that kind of felt nice, because then you get that extra day to go on and say, hey, you know, let's make sure we're doing everything right. So you get that extra day, watch a little extra film, you know, critique yourself. And it kind of felt nice to get an extra day to recover from the previous week. You kind of felt really good, you know, just to mentally prepare yourself a little bit more. So, no, I thought it was awesome. And any day to play a football game is a great opportunity.
Absolutely.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Roll Hawks.
Oh, yeah.
And it was some hawk weather too,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
It was, yeah, we got there and field was still covered in snow. And then they share a field with a high school team. So 2 nights before, the high school team played on that, I believe. So then we got there and then field was covered in snow. They shoveled it off. You get on the field, it's muddy everywhere, but that's hawk weather. Just like you said, it's hot
Yeah.
conditions. And we get there and we say, this is how we play. We're going to play in our conditions, you know. This might be your field, but these are our conditions, and
Absolutely.
we're going to play as hard as we can. So
Give me goosebumps, Jade.
I know, right?
Okay. So, I mean, defensively, the first half, you guys allowed 2 touchdowns, is that
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then second half,
Blanked them.
nothing.
Yep.
Blanked them.
Yeah, it was. It started out kind of rocky. We
Mm-hmm.
had some miscommunications. You know, those things will happen, but it's how you react to it. And
Right.
I thought we reacted very well. You know, and I want to say they scored. You know, it was 14-6 for a while, then 14-10, and
Mm-hmm.
things happened. But once we got the ball rolling, man, we sealed the deal. So.
Right. So, what was that switch from first half to second half? What do you think changed?
Defensively, we really locked it down, and you know, whether it was the field, whatever, everybody's playing on the same field, so you know you can't use that as an excuse. And then offensively, got the ball rolling. You know, we had some good kick returns, bring it out to the 40 to the 50. You know, but I think just the mentality. You know, I mean, we had the same mentality going through the game, but the second half we were like, we're locking it down now. We're not allowing. You know, defensively said we're not allowing any more points. We always look at it as 0-0, new half, brand new quarter. You know, going to play as hard as we can no matter what the score is. And defensively, we just said we're not going to allow one more point. Offensively, they just got the ball up, ran the ball well, threw it well, everything. Had some explosive plays. You know, not much I'm going to say other than we just really played hard. And, you know, miscommunications happened, but we played hard the whole time.
Good.
You said it already, 0-0. You were thinking 3 steps ahead of me. So I've been in the locker room with you. What does 0-0 mean to you?
0-0 means we have an opportunity to shut them out, you know, and you might not consider it a shutout, 14-35, whatever the score was. You may not consider it a shutout, but every quarter I look at it as it's a brand new quarter. I look at it as 0-0. We're not going to let them score. No matter what the score is right now, I look at it as it's a brand new set every single time. First, second, third, fourth quarter, brand new set, always 0-0. We're looking to put up 1-2 touchdowns every time. We're looking to not let them score any touchdowns.
It's
So.
awesome.
It's definitely a defensive mindset.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to switch up gears here a little bit. You saw Coach Willis. She did Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? Now it's
Yeah.
your turn. So
All right.
got the old phone out here.
No guarantees I can do any better.
Got my phone out here. We got our timer in the background. 1 minute, just like Coach Willis.
Alrighty.
So we have entertainment, and we also have American history.
I'll do entertainment.
Okay. So timer, as soon as I'm done reading the question, let's go for it. All right. Ready?
Yep.
How many seasons of Friends are there? 11, 10, 9, or 12?
11.
False, or incorrect. Who played Batman in the Dark Knight trilogy? Ben Affleck, Michael Keaton, Christian Bale, or George Clooney?
Christian Bale.
Correct. Highest paid actor of 2019? Dwayne The Rock Johnson, Robert Downey Jr., Chris Hemsworth, Will Smith.
I'm going to say Iron Man. I can't remember.
Incorrect.
Robert Downey Jr.? No.
Which dog breed is most commonly in movies? Poodles, Golden Retrievers, Corgis, or Dobermans?
Golden Retrievers?
Incorrect.
What?
Highest grossing movie of all time? Avengers Endgame, Titanic, Avatar, The Lion King of 2019.
Endgame.
Correct. Highest paid actress of 2019? Sofia Vergara, Scarlett Johansson, Reese Witherspoon, or Margot Robbie?
Oh, first one.
Incorrect.
Incorrect.
Streaming service most used? Hulu, Amazon Video, Netflix, YouTube TV.
Netflix?
Correct. Last question. Highest selling video game of all time? Mario Kart, Grand Theft Auto 5, Fortnite, or Tetris?
Grand Theft Auto 5. No.
Incorrect. It's Tetris.
Tetris. I had a feeling it could have been, but people don't play that game
Those were
anymore.
hard.
I thought they were a little bit of a softball.
I don't know.
I don't know.
You put me on the spot, man.
I would have gotten a lot of those wrong.
Yeah. Well, granted, I did write those questions.
That is true. Yeah, you're like, yeah, they're so easy. I know them right off the top of my head.
Yeah. So, I mean, not terrible, but very good still.
I'd put me at maybe a 6th grader, right around
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, not quite fifth grader. A little bit above.
Yeah,
Right.
a little bit.
Which is good. I mean, that's where you want to be. Kind of switching back into, I guess, more academics. What are you studying and what made you choose that major?
I'm studying secondary education, physical education. So one thing that really led me towards that was I changed my major a couple times in college. I was business, and then I was exercise science, and then I took chemistry, and I realized it's not what I want to do. So then one thing that really led me towards that is I really like working with kids. And, you know, I looked at, like, I'd sit there and ask myself, is there something I could do where if I didn't get paid, I'd still be happy doing it? And that would probably be working with kids. Because I don't get the satisfaction from people seeing me or getting money or none of that. It's when I see a kid where there's something they're not able to do, and then I can teach them and then help them, and then they are able to do that. That's where I really get my satisfaction from. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
So I know you're a big Minnesota fan, anything all Minnesota, so
Yeah.
even the people who live there. So what is the greatest Prince song of all time?
Oh, jeez. Well, there's a couple. I mean, I think Purple Rain's kind of a given. When Doves Cry is pretty good. Let's Go Crazy, that's one where whenever Minnesota scores, they'll play that song, and that one kind of gets me going. Gosh, my favorite one. Man, that's tough. Yeah, I'd say probably Let's Go Crazy, but there's a lot of other ones that a lot of people haven't listened to. Actually, Raspberry Beret, that's
Okay.
my favorite one.
All right.
Yeah, the long version. There's a long version. There's a sweet guitar part in the beginning, and it gets me going.
This is sweet.
Just makes me feel really good, you know.
Let's Go Crazy is my personal
Yeah,
favorite.
that's a pretty good one.
What about you, Ellie?
Let's Go Crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, come on.
that one's loud. It's vibrant. It's got everything in it. Gets you going. Makes you feel good.
I feel like you're at a wedding at the very beginning.
I know, right?
So back to football. You are a defensive lineman.
Yep.
So when you're out there, what are you kind of expecting for your offense to give back when you're on defense? What are you looking for there?
You know, it's kind of one of those things where I want to play my hardest for my teammates, and I expect my teammates to play as hard as they can for me, and we all trust each other, and we're going to play really hard for the coaches and the fans, and obviously, you know, we want that win and everything, and I look at it more as not so much what can the offense offer the defense. I look at more as let's take the ball from the other team and give it back to the offense. You know, no matter what happens, if we're up 70-0, if we're down 70-0, let's look and let's take this ball right back. Let's go 3 and out every single time. Take the ball right back, give it right back to, you know, the offense. Give it back to Hayden, you know, whatever. Put it in Ahmad's hands. Let's get those guys. Let's get the, you know, the guys who want to score. Let's get it to them. So,
Absolutely. So I know that you started originally as a fullback.
yeah.
So describe that transition between the offense and going to the defense.
Yeah, it was one of those things where I was an O&D lineman in high school, and then like I said, they kind of said a little too short. I was kind of big, not too big. So it's kind of those things where I came in and you feel like you know a lot when you're a senior in high school, and then you get out in the real world and you're like, you really don't know anything. And one of the hardest things was, you know, learning how an offense works as a whole. I knew how to block. I knew how blocking assignments worked, but then when it came to route concepts and things like that, it got difficult. And I didn't play a whole lot. And then, so last year, I was coming in, and I was going to play fullback. And then, like 4 days before fall camp started, Coach Miller called me, and he's like, "What would you think about playing nose tackle?" And this was when I was like 235, 240,
Right.
you know, 5'10". And I was kind of like, I was a little nervous, but then I just kind of sat there for a second. And I was like, you know, I'll play anything they want me to play. So I told him, I said, "Can I meet in your office in a couple minutes?" So I drove over there in the morning, and he showed me some stuff, and I kind of looked at one of those things where I'm just going to give it my best, and preparation really helped me. I studied a lot. I studied everything I could study. I studied my whole defensive front, and then I looked at it as, okay, now when I get the defensive front down, I want to learn what the linebackers are doing, so that if there's a certain way I can go if a linebacker's blitzing, should I cut across this guy's face, or should I work left or right or whatever? But the transition wasn't too hard. It's really about how much do you want it is kind of, you know, a lot of people might sit there and complain about, oh, they're moving me here, they're moving me there. I look at it as, if I can get on the field, I'll do whatever I can for you, you know. Special teams, you know, I'm on punt, you know, starting at nose. And last year I played nose, 3-tech, played a little bit of defensive end and heavy packages. This year I'm strictly playing nose. So it's one of those things where it's just wherever you put me, I'm going to try my hardest, you know. And some days are tough. It's a pretty physically demanding position. There's some days where I'm hurting, you know, my neck hurts, hips hurt, head hurts, whatever. But you know, you just got to be tough and get through it. And you know, like I said, preparation is really is what probably the big key there. You know, you can do anything if you're prepared. So.
Right. So now, don't mean to put you on the spot, but which one do you prefer better, being a fullback or being a D lineman?
Defensive lineman, because I did kind of like fullback. I'm more of a guy who I want to go run into somebody, and sometimes it gets me in trouble because, especially in like some pass rush situations, I want to go hit somebody as hard as I can instead of trying to work around. But defensive lineman, there's so many more dynamics I can work with. Where, you know, if I have a bad play here, well, I get a few more reps to work it out. Whereas fullback, you know, you have certain packages where you're only going to get a couple reps maybe. So if you screw up 1 out of 3 or 2 out of 4 or whatever, defensive line, you know, screw up 1 out of 5, 1 out of 6, and then I can look at that and say, get better, get better, get better until, you know, until I can do it perfectly. But it's a lot more fun. I just, especially playing on the defense, man. You run around with your head on a swivel, and it's like, I just think it's a lot of fun, especially the camaraderie with the teammates. You know, everybody getting together. Like I said, saying we're going 3 and out right here, and we're not letting up anything. So it's a lot of fun. No, anywhere I get put is a lot of fun. So
Sweet. So actually, I understand that you two are neighbors.
yeah,
Is that right?
Yeah, Ellie's lives above me. So
So if you were to describe this living situation within 3 words, what would you describe it as?
Oh, that's tough. Well, I'm gonna say loud, obnoxious, and stinky.
Ooh.
Stinky.
Because we got to share the same washer and dryer unit.
Oh no.
And you got football players and volleyball players.
That's a
Oh,
lot of
man.
sweat. That's a lot of
And
sweat.
it's like I wake up in the morning and it's like everybody's running around and screaming half the time. And all of a sudden here I look on TikTok and there's some new TikToks. So no, it's a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun living with each other. So I'm sure we all annoy each other sometimes and slam the door or something. But no, yeah, it's a lot of fun. And you kind of, their friends will come over. We'll sometimes pop in and hang out. You know, our friends will come over. They'll pop in and hang out. So yeah, it's a lot of fun.
It works out.
Oh yeah.
We all like each other deep,
Okay.
deep
Yeah.
down.
Sometimes I like to just pop my head in and give them some crap. Or October is the best time because then that's when I get to wear a mask and scare them.
I've heard
So,
about that.
oh, yeah.
I've seen that on Twitter.
Yep, yeah, it's a lot of fun.
It
So-
hasn't happened yet.
No, it
so-
hasn't. That's because got a good one coming, but I can't tell them about it. So,
Okay. Gotta keep that on the DL.
so yeah, I better keep your eyes peeled.
Switching back to football,
Yep.
not scaring us. What have you guys been focusing on this week in preparing for a presentation?
Really a lot of technique and perfecting, and then also getting young guys in. And the thing is, you know, obviously we're going to go out, we're going to play as hard as we can, but when we get to a point where we feel comfortable, and you know that might not be halfway through the game, you know, whatever the case is, we want to get those young guys in. So one thing we're kind of focusing on getting those guys in and helping them, where they're on the scouts for you know almost the whole season. Some of them are, most of them, and they kind of don't quite know the playbook as well and those types of things. Where I tell them, say, we have to do this too. We have to study our playbook, so you better get your head in your playbook and really helping them out. And sometimes they'll go in and it might not be pretty, so when they come out, so we'll go out of our way to go up to them and say, hey, this is what you need to work on. We're going to help you. Watch this guy. Ask questions. Ask any question. No question's a stupid question. You know, I've had many, many questions asked and answered as, you know, the best way possible. But yeah, really just perfecting certain techniques, like should I take a 90-degree step or a 45-degree step, you know, should I rip or should I swim, you know, things like that. So, and yeah, just getting a lot of young guys in and getting some experience. So, yeah. And we'll never take any opponent lightly, you know. Every opponent we're going to play like it's a championship game. So,
Right.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, so being ranked in the North Star and then being ranked 14th in the nation, do you think that puts a little bit of a target on the
Oh, yeah.
Blue Hawks back?
oh yeah, I mean, there's teams where they might have only won a couple games, but then we'll play them, and then all of a sudden it's a shootout because they're looking at us like we want to knock the top guy off, you know. And you know, Waldorf, they're a team that my first year weren't very good, and then they came up, and man, they've got some athletes on their team. They got some stars on their team, and I mean, you know, there's Mayville, their quarterback is good. They got a couple good athletes. Every team's got good athletes, and you know, especially Dakota State, where that's kind of a rivalry, the real DSU, that stuff gets talked about and whatnot. But man, we just go into it every game like it's a playoff game, like it's a championship game, and we know we have a target on our back. Every single year we have a target on our back. There's some, people might doubt who and who, whatever. Some players might doubt a certain team. I always look and say, no, they got kids that can play, man. So yeah, no matter what, play it as a championship game.
That's awesome.
Good. I like that. So to close off the show here, we always like to ask around the same question, but what does DSU mean to you?
DSU really means everything to me, I think, especially kind of being one of the first people in my family to go to college and play college football and whatnot. And football is one of those, in high school, I have been on a team that won a state championship, and I've been on a team that went 0-9. And I looked at it and I said, is this really how I want to finish a football career, It's kind of one of those things where it was really put into my life where it was kind of do or die, So I looked at it as, especially Dickinson State, giving me an opportunity. And they, like I said, they asked me to play, if I wanted to play a bunch of different positions, whatever, offense and defense. And I just looked at it as an opportunity to just do something awesome, and, prove everybody wrong. Got a lot of people that have doubted me and whatnot. And, I don't let that bother me, and I, don't dislike anybody because of that. I don't hate anybody. And I just looked at it as an opportunity to just do something really awesome. And, the friendships I've made here will never go away. When I get older, still going to come back a lot, try to make, every homecoming game, whatever it is, and just made amazing relationships. And especially with the community, there's a lot of people I've met in the community, and then that still remember me, even if it was from a couple years ago when I wasn't playing as much, whether it be now. And yeah, I'd really say DSU really means everything to me, and I'll forever be grateful for it. So
That's so cool. Yeah. All right, just like Coach Willis, we got our special gift for you. Completely missed it,
Nice
but
catch.
I flew on Hawk Talk T-shirt right here for you.
Sweet.
Well, there you go. Thank you very much, Jade.
Thank you for having me.
Great luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Hopefully we win. Great homecoming. All right, we'll be right back with the recap.
Here come your Blue Hawks. Steps into the throw, in the wind, down to the goal line, and caught! Touchdown, Blue Hawks!
And we're back here for the recap. As you can see, we found Seth.
back.
He got lost in the consolidated building again. It got a little weird,
Don't
but
you know
he's
the
back.
building by now, Seth?
Yeah, I don't. I've been trying to just find new rooms and new stuff around the building, so that's why. That's
Yeah,
where.
found like
makes
a
sense.
secret door,
Uh-huh,
maybe a
yeah.
wardrobe. I don't know.
Yeah, to Narnia.
Yeah,
Actually, is where
yeah.
I was
Really?
in Narnia.
That's where it is?
Time space.
crazy.
continuum. Anyways, we wanted to do a little recap. As it is homecoming week, we wanted to give you all the events that are going to be happening this weekend, but also talk about last weekend. Football was the only thing that went on
Yeah.
last weekend, which is cross country was supposed to, but they didn't get a chance to. So, Coulter, go ahead and start us off with football.
So football, like Jade said, that we got a little stuck in the ditch. Really high winds over there, really icy roads, but DSU came back and found a way to win.
Yeah, it was a good win. Watched the game online. Like Jade had said, struggled in the first half offensively. Defensively, not so much. Defense has kind of been that steady hand for us, but offense came out hot in the second half, and yeah, 35.
But the defense, they
35.
blanked them 25-0.
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly. So it's good to keep seeing that. A couple kids from Dakota State followed me on Twitter before the game because they wanted. I was assuming they wanted to start something, but nothing happened.
Nothing
so we're
happened?
Okay. Yeah, keep the DSU rivalry alive.
We are the better
The better
DSU.
DSU.
The real DSU.
The real
Yeah,
DSU.
the real DSU.
Yeah. What's going on this weekend?
This weekend we have 2 volleyball games. We play Bellevue. I don't know why I do this.
Oh, it doesn't-
Bellevue on Friday at 3 o'clock, and then Dakota State
Yeah.
at 10 a.m. before the
Saturday.
football game
Yeah.
on
So
Saturday.
a couple weird times, I
Yeah.
would say, different for normal homecoming. That's kind of interesting, but
Yeah.
we're going to embrace it, right? We're
Yeah.
going to have some fun.
It'll be great. We
Yeah.
can go beat DSU and then go to the football game in Tiramon.
That's
So
perfect.
It'll be good.
I think on Friday, there's also the Hall of Fame banquet. I believe that's $40 to attend
Right.
at the Ramada at 5 o'clock. But after your volleyball game, there's also Rowdy Rough volleyball happening
Yes.
with students at Dickinson State. So if you are a student, you want to come play some Rowdy Rough, you need to come watch the volleyball game first at 3 and then come play some Rowdy Rough volleyball. And then, like you said, 10 o'clock on Saturday morning. Whew, I'll be there. That's going to be an early morning, but we'll be there. And then the tailgate starts also at 11, and parade's at 10, volleyball at 10. Tim Siegel run is at 8. All of those that run is in memory of Tim Siegel, and the benefits go to the cross country team. I believe it's $10 to run
Right.
in that, and then football, correct?
And then football, we got the game against presentation at 2. At halftime, we've got the Alumni Fellows, the Hall of Fame, and along with homecoming. And I don't know if you guys know
Oh.
this or not, but
Coulter's on the homecoming.
I'm on the homecoming
the
court.
homecoming court. Maybe we'll vote for you.
I mean,
Yeah.
if,
vote
you,
for
if
Coulter.
you guys
Vote
are
for
able
Coulter.
to, I mean, there's so many great candidates, but if you guys want to,
He's a great candidate right here.
I mean, you guys, I'd be more than very appreciative of that. So a lot of great candidates, though.
And then also after the football game, the post-game social is happening at the Ramada. That's going to be a big one. A lot of alumni coming back, a lot of homecoming celebration. The biggest thing that I want to promote is actually our game day show, which is at 12 o'clock
Yes.
on Saturday. You can come watch it live at the tailgate, or you can watch it on our Facebook Live. We will be filming that. Thanks to Consolidated, they're going to be there for us. I believe American Bank Center and Bernarski's are going to be sponsoring us in that. But we want to say thank you to them as well. Thank you to Immovable Ministries, as always, for sponsoring Hawk Talk. We're very much appreciative of Tyler and Kelsey out there giving us their support and continuing to partner with DSU Athletics. So
It's awesome.
close us out.
Are you ready for this? Do you think we're ready for this?
I think you're ready for this. I don't know where you're going with
All
this.
right. So catch us back next time on Hawk Talk. As always, Hawks are up.
So we're up.
Oh, that's what you're doing.